What's going on, guys? It's Clippy here. Today we are joining you from our round 18 last round robin game of Super Rugby, and I think regardless of the result today, we have already managed to go and pick ourselves up a finals place, I guess you would say. It is very confusing. I have gone over this a few times of how confusing the Super Rugby playoff format does work, especially now that there are 4 conferences rather than I think the 2 that we had last year. Again, I'm not 100% sure, but we'll just be looking to go and hopefully try and pick up a win. We did lose last time around to the Hurricanes, which was very surprising. I think we lost, I think it was just by 3. It was a drop goal that was the difference from the Canes. And that did see us pick up our first loss in a wee while. That does also mean I think we can't finish first. I think the Hurricanes are going to finish first in our conference, which is a little bit of a shame, but we're just going to keep going, carry on with the momentum we have had all season. We have been playing well all season, so we just need to keep that going, and hopefully it is going to make a difference come semi-finals time. But enough about that. Today we do welcome back some big game players who I don't think we have seen as yet, but we do welcome them back to the starting 11. They are back from injury, which is very positive. I'm talking about Sam Whitelock and Ndolo. Both of them are back, so it is very good, as I said, to have them. Not as though it is going to make a difference, because the Colin Slade! What a tackle! I was going to say it doesn't matter because the Brumbies are in here, but Colin Slade coming up big with a big try-saving tackle right there. And that does keep it 0-0. Should really be the Brumbies up. And we haven't had our hands on the ball inside the first 10 minutes. So hopefully we can go and rectify that a little bit. Surely that player is offside. And what a kick that is. It has actually gone dead in goal. So very well left. We will bring it all the way back, I would say, for the scrum, which should be up towards halfway, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, up on the 10-metre line. So well, actually, the opposition 10-metre line, I believe. So that is an even better gain. For our first time to get the hands on the ball, we are getting it in very good territory as well. Middle of the park on our opponent's 10-metre line. You can't really ask for too much more than that. So we just need to make sure we can go and do something with it. Crotty, you're better than that, son. You played on the weekend for the national side, and I thought you had a fairly decent game, and you've just gone and dropped it completely cold. The first time we get our hands on the ball in 15 minutes, and after the first pass, it has just been completely done, and we have just gone and lost possession. But we may get this one potentially against the head, which is going to give Crotty a second chance, which we have gone and done. Crotty's been missed out this time. And here's the man we were talking about, Big Namani Ndolo, and he's been taken into touch. So there's been some good defence on show here today so far, and there hasn't really been too many scoring opportunities. There's that man. As I said, we do welcome back Sam Whitelock. Huge addition to the side, especially to this Crusaders side. And to the All Blacks as well. Didn't play on the weekend against Wales, but Brodie Retallick, and I think it was Luke Romano that was playing, his locking partner here today, did get a fairly decent job done. Also, the man that just carried the ball up there, Kieran Reid. Obviously, the new era, a lot of people were talking about that. A new era for the All Blacks. You know, new captain, new players. Obviously, a lot of the old guard have gone and retired now, aren't playing now. Oh, this is a chance. Who goes on the inside when there's no one on the outside? I mean, yes, it is risky. It is risky to go on the outside there, but surely you got to go there. You got to go there. The numbers was there. The try line was beckoning. Just couldn't quite go and finish it off. So, and just like that, it's been kicked into touch. It has just... Oh! They do a quick line outs in this game. I did not think there were quick lineouts in this game. I've been proven wrong. Wow. I honestly did not think there were quick lineouts in this game, because that is the first time. I mean, this game has been out now close to probably 2-3 months, and that is the first time I've seen a quick lineout option be given. So that's a little bit exciting, because I didn't think that they were in the game, but the chance is there. You probably just need to go and catch it, as we did very close to the in goal. Is that going to go... Oh, Fruin outruns the front rower. Beautiful work. Could have gone and forced the ball. Obviously did go into the in goal on its own accord. Wasn't carried back. But Fruin just goes, you know what? I'm just going to go and pick it up myself. That's a bad pass from DC. Carter, what were you doing? What were you thinking? That is unbelievable. But, oh, you're joking. You're joking. It's got the distance too. What is up with teams taking drop goals all of a sudden? We've hardly seen any this whole career mode series, and I think in the last 2 games we have conceded, or sorry, this game and the last one that we didn't record against the Hurricanes, we have seen 2 drop goals in the space of 2 games. And as I said, we've hardly ever seen them before. I think we have done enough to win this one, and hopefully we can do something towards the end of the first half. Hopefully we can go try and get a late try on the board, because we don't really want to go in trailing at the break, especially in this last game. Go Namani. Big Namani just hasn't been getting that ball that we are accustomed to getting him, and that is going to be put out into touch, which takes us into halftime. Down 3-0, which, as I said, is very surprising. But looking at those stats, only 25% of the possession and 32% of the territory. We are really going to have to go and change that around heading into the second half if we have any hope of clawing back a victory. And it would not be the greatest of form to head into the finals with 2 losses on the trot. I think we have gone here, done well again at the breakdown, committed players, and have actually got enough there to see us home. We just need to make sure someone... Boys! What are you doing? I don't know how we've lost that. Our players were honestly mucking around. Who, God knows what they were doing. The only thing here, possibly, is that, I was going to say they could be isolated. But unlike us, they seem to have a player always there, just ready to go and jump on the ball to obviously go and kill off the breakdown. And that's just not what we've done. We just haven't won the breakdowns in key positions, which would go and make a big difference. You know, we just haven't, our forwards just haven't been really on the ball today. They haven't really been there when we have needed them. I mean, like there's so many of them there. We've actually, oh my God, another injury. Injuries seem to be a very common part of this game, which it is good because it does mean you have to go and obviously use your subs and use your depth and stuff like that. But to have the stoppage like this, I mean, like a lot of the times when there is an injury in rugby, unless it is a serious injury or a head injury, the game will not stop. The game will continue going on, and that is exactly what we needed. Good position. Oh, Andy Ellis. I was going to say good position, and hopefully we can go and keep hold of the ball. We really do need to make something of this because we have been down inside the area for a wee while, and Fruin is going to be the man that is going to do it for us. Gets it down, not ideally underneath the post as we would have liked, but Robbie Fruin coming up big, scoring a try just like that there. And now that we have gone and done that, we've gone through all, I guess, the stuff that has been going on here. We can talk internationals from the weekend. We're going to start off first with the All Blacks taking on the Welsh. The Welsh, I think it's been like 64 years since I've beaten the All Blacks. And the All Blacks always seem to be slow starters when it comes to these mid-year tests for us. And normally I don't get worried. Like, I'm like, yeah, we'll come back. But the game on Saturday was the first time in a while that I have been worried that possibly the All Blacks could lose. I just think Wales were very good, started very good. It was really the second half performance that did go and get it done for us. And that is what I was saying to people who were watching. They were saying, oh, it's not looking good for the All Blacks. And I said to them, the difference between the All Blacks is Fruin goes and grabs his second, so he's got a brace. I said the difference between the All Blacks and a lot of the other teams in the world, you know, the top tier nations, I would consider Wales up in there, is that the All Blacks are an 80-minute team. They will play and apply pressure for the whole 80 minutes. And I mean, their bench came on. I think that's what a lot of people credited this win to, was just how strong their bench was in the second half, and I would have to agree. A lot of teams, you do see this, when it gets to like the 60th, 70th minute, they do start to run out of puff. And that is where the All Blacks really do go and capitalise. And it has happened probably, you know, over the last, I'd say, well, I want to say 8 years, because obviously back-to-back World Cup champions. But it does seem to be the case. It just seems to be that when it comes to the second half, teams just seem to run out of puff against us. And because of that, we can go and obviously exploit the holes and get those tries. As I said, we did keep Wales only to 3 points. I believe it was just a penalty goal in the second half was the only mode of scoring. And Joe Moody, with a big run, plays it out to Namani. And the Crusaders at the moment playing a bit like the All Blacks did on the weekend. Again, that second half pressure, not so much the bench because we haven't gone and made any subs, but the second half pressure, we have gone and seen 3 tries be put on the board in the space of 26 minutes, whereas we could not score a single point in the whole first half. So that's done and dusted. Yeah, obviously the All Blacks picking up the win. They got there in the end. I think it was by about 11 points possibly. So not totally convincing, but as I said, first test of the year for the All Blacks. Obviously a very new look All Black side as well. And as I said, it just does seem to be the case that when it comes to this first test of the year for the All Blacks, there does seem to be a lot of rust. Players don't seem to be playing that well. And speaking of playing well, a man who I thought possibly could have been in with a shot of a berth on the wing was Israel Dag, who just took it up there. But I was very, very impressed with Waisake Naholo. 2 tries for him, I believe. One absolute missile try that they scored from... they were only about 10 out, and just went and he ran like an absolute tracer bullet and just over the line from about 5 metres in the end. So... yeah, very impressed with him. Very impressed with the All Blacks to come back and obviously show the character that we have become, I guess, accustomed to. And Ryan Crotty is going to dot that down in the corner. So that picks up our 4th try. Results are the way England beat Australia, which I thought was quite surprising. Eddie Jones has done wonders with that English team. And I think heading towards the World Cup in 2019 in Japan, I think England are going to be a real threat if they do manage to keep this core of players around and keep Eddie Jones around as well. Ireland beat South Africa as well, so it wasn't good for the Southern Hemisphere teams whatsoever. I think Argentina possibly beat Italy. But yeah, Australia and South Africa losing is a big, big blow to Southern Hemisphere rugby because that is so strong. You know, those are the 3 teams, Australia, New Zealand and South Africa, that you really do associate as the powerhouses when it comes to international rugby. So for 2 of the 3 of them to lose to Northern Hemisphere opponents isn't a concern because it is good for Northern Hemisphere rugby. It shows that they are going and progressing. They are starting to catch up to the Southern Hemisphere as well. But yeah, not good for Northern Hemisphere rugby. Obviously, they would like to go and... Oh, God, kick that out, Sam White. Would like to go and obviously win all those games and maintain that powerhouse status. But that's not the case. We're finished here. We're going to wrap things up. Do hope you enjoyed this video, guys. If you have, please remember to leave a like. If you are new, please do subscribe. Make sure you check out my Facebook and Twitter links. That can be found down below in the description. Hope you guys are having a good week so far. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. We've got more Don Bradman batting career coming your guys' way. Make sure you do not miss that.